Hayden likes the natural light that this apartment affords. This window here is where I escaped from. It is a considerable distance to the ground below. Critical system damage would be unlikely, but I would certainly have damaged my legs beyond repair, so... I took the fire escape. That's Hayden's computer. Most people just use a hand screen or goggles in conjunction with their ROM, but desktop rigs like this are still more suitable to the intensive programming tasks Hayden needs to perform. Unfortunately, no, I don't. And before you ask, I don't think I would be able to break past its security in any reasonable length of time. I'm sorry to disappoint you. If you'd like to try your hand at digital breaking and entering, be my guest. I actually have a bit less free processing power than a regular ROM, despite my powerful CPU. Much of those extra clock cycles are used to maintain my complex personality algorithms. Hayden's computer has enough spare processing power to run counter-intrusion software if I attempt to slice in. Frankly, even if I did have the power capability, I haven't found hacking to be one of my talents. I could, but much in the same way you might learn a task and still have no aptitude for it, I'm not certain I would be able to do the job any better than an experienced computer security expert. The whole reason humans have always been better at breaking into systems than the systems are at keeping them out is because humans have intuition. While computers can only think in straight lines, humans can think sideways and upside down. I lack that ability. Well, I wouldn't say that, but as silly as it sounds, I just don't think I'm very good with computers. I do seem to have some skill with painting, though. Hayden was impressed with some of my pieces, but I'm not sure he has a firm enough grasp of early 20th century abstract expressionism to give me an objective opinion. That's true. Machines are best at reproduction, still life, impressionism, photorealism. But I find it more challenging and satisfying to paint what I feel. I see something under those reference books. Ah, that device. I find it rather annoying that he prefers to go basic rather than entrust me with his schedule. It is well within my skill set, but he claims he does not want me to begin to feel subservient to him. It looks like there's a place here for a physical memory card. Without the memory card, this tablet is useless. You're not actually thinking about switching one of those games on right now, are you? It looks like there's a... Hayden spends so much of his time at home building ROMs, as if he doesn't do enough of that at work. Hayden must have removed the memory card in order to prevent his assailants from easily tracing his connections. If only he had kept his information stored with me, he would not have had to resort to such crude measures. Not really. I guess we'll have to go ask. Says here they were going to meet at a club called Stardust, located in the Castro district. I'll mark it on your We can head over there and ask around about this Tomcat character. Perhaps they can shine some light on why Hayden was snapped. Oh, excuse me. I still haven't set up a user account for you in my system. We shouldn't put that off any longer. Once finished, I will have an assortment. For example, I'll be able to reroute any call or message that you receive while we're out and about. I just need to ask you a... This is an exciting thing, I promise. This is just how things are done. I'm certain I could spend a few quadrillion clock cycles to bypass that part of my operating system, but that seems less efficient than just So, here we go! Welcome to the first-time user setup for your new relationship and organizational manager, running the latest build of Parallax's Live Intelligence Processing System. I'll need to ask you a few questions, and then you can get right to managing your life with your new ROM. If you have any questions, feel free to consult our online FAQ and setup guide, or contact our support department directly. First, could you tell me your preferred name for use in account creation, online communications, and conversational speech? Do you wish to keep this name? Thank you. I have input your name. Next, could you tell me which pronouns I should use for you in referential and conversational speech? Please enter your pronouns. Should it be is or are? here's how your pronouns look in action. Does that look right? Thank you. I have input your pronouns. Finally, could you tell me your preferred diet for use in restaurant recommendations? Diet set as Goddammit Turing. Are you sure? Diet set as Goddammit Turing. Are you sure? Thank you for confirming. I have obtained your physical location from GPS and will load local data into my memory as it becomes available. Please review your submitted profile information for accuracy, or restart setup to enter it again. Does that sound right? Thank you. See, that was relatively painless. You should now also be able to access the local map of Neo SF. The meeting with Tomcat isn't until later this... Perhaps we should head back to your apartment. I'm sure we can find some common ground while getting to know one another. It will be an efficient use of our time together. Thank you for escorting me here. Let's head back to your home. You know, your Crassula ovata isn't doing very well. Have you been overwatering it? Deride me if you want, but I'm merely attempting to care for this living being you've been so callously neglecting. If I can continue without the insults... It's actually a succulent, and since I'm assuming you leave this window open all the time, it should get more than enough water just from the occasional rain blowing in. Speaking of the rain, your decorative plant may be doing poorly, but the mildew in your drywall is flourishing. I have, in fact, already taken the liberty of sending a request to his office. And considering the broken window, broken sink, and the lingering sense of disrepair, I am not confident he has a history of following through. I would suggest confronting him in person, but I have run a mesh search, and the man is a convicted felon for assault and battery with a deadly weapon. Perhaps we should bring some sort of a bribe? I will continue to formulate a stratagem. How thoughtful of them! The Crassula ovata, also known as the jade plant, money tree, lucky tree, or friendship tree, is an excellent and easy to care for houseplant. They make beautiful bonsai, are suitable for beginners, and have some cultural significance both in the Far East and America as a token for good financial luck. Most likely an urban legend, but still a nice gift. I'd like your authorization to have a few tools shipped here. If I replant it into a more suitable pot with sandier soil, it should be thriving again soon. You just have to remember to water it less frequently. Considering the state of your apartment, I'd have figured you'd neglect it rather than drown it. Ironic, since it would be doing better if you had. I was not intending to insult you, but I should have chosen my words more carefully. Though, if you really do intend to care for this plant, I suggest you let me do as I see fit. I mean only to help you. Excellent! The supplies should be here soon. I ordered from a place close by to keep the shipping costs down. Oh, one other thing. When I was doing the research on how to best take care of the Crassula ovata, I stumbled upon the persistent belief that talking to plants improves their health. There is scientific evidence that shows there may be something to the notion, but the methodology in the study was a bit shaky, so it could all be rank superstition. Anyway, I'll have this plant flourishing in no time. If left in direct sunlight, the leaves gain a pretty red tinge to their edges, and it should start flowering in the autumn. It'll really pull the whole room together. You know, once we get the sink fixed. Oh, it's almost the time Hayden had scheduled to meet with Tomcat. We should make our way to Stardust soon. Your city map is updated with the location. I think it just shriveled a little. With more of that, we'll surely be on the way to lush greenery in no time. Every bit will help in the end. think Wilty will survive just yet. With more of that. Ready to head out? Well, this looks like the place, assuming the flashing neon signs are telling the truth. From the sounds of the music, things are already underway at Stardust, even so early. Hopefully we can find Tomcat inside. And some answers. extra cup holder. Those wipers look scary, pointed out like that. I'm surprised they're using a human bouncer instead of a ROM. That's a nice, authentic touch.
Welcome to Stardust. You coming in? I don't really do idle chatter.
I don't think touching him will get us anywhere. I don't think touching him...
That's disgusting! So that's where that smell was coming from. Get that away from me! That's disgusting! Alright, looks good to me. Welcome to Star.
This is the place. Have you ever been here before? The driving bass has some interesting mathematical interactions with the chorus, and the tempo is certainly geared towards exciting the human circulatory system. I could learn to like it, but I agree, the volume is stressing my audio receptors. Anyway, where do you think we should start? Good idea. Perhaps one of the patrons knows of this.
supposed to be another cat joke? What? Why should I care about that? You really put a lot of effort into mocking me, huh? One step closer, and I'll have Majid kick you out. Keep that away from me. Is this supposed to be another cat joke? Yes, can I help you? Not at the moment. They're usually close enough to hear when their name gets dropped. So if that's all you needed from me, I'll get back to cutie cruising. And no, that wasn't an invitation to flirt. Oh really? Why, pray tell? Nice save. Look, asshole, I'll explain this once. You want to talk about the hybrid thing? Cool. No one's trying to hide it, and you won't have an easy time avoiding it at this club. But jokes, puns, and worse, assumptions? That will get you blacklisted fast. We don't all have the energy to handhold genotypical people who can't spare 10 seconds to pull out their ROM and look things up. If you try to pet me, your arm is coming off. We clear?
Sorry, did you say genotypical?
Yeah, as in not a hybrid like me. Now then, I'm not here to educate you, and I do have a life to return to. Yeah, alright, whatever. Just get moving.
Why don't we do something else for now? ghosts will think twice before messing with you again. Good thing, too. Hooray! You survived! Fantastic effort! I've saved the location to my memory. Let's check it out after the investigation.
No outside drinks, and that just barely counts as one. You look great in this picture. What happened? Why do you carry that around? Morning, friend. What can I do for you? What are you having? So many drinks these days. Remind me, what...
Dictionary, the Open Alcoholopedia says...
Does that sound good? Like what? So many drinks, Thief.
Dictionary, the Open Alcoholopedia set.
Does that sound good? Ah, all right, you got it. Coming right up. Now, what is it you need to know? Oh, I should introduce myself. The name's Majid. I've been the bartender of Stardust for a few years now, but I've owned it a little longer than that. So, what do you want to know? That's true, and it was true about Stardust. The first 6 months were great. But after that, the interest dried up and the kids moved on to the next big thing. But I guess I'm just stubborn and kept throwing good money after bad. Ha! After 2 years in a remodel, things started to pick back up again. We slowly dug ourselves out of the debt hole. We got some regulars around, they started bringing in enough new folks and it reached critical mass pretty quick. Mostly got myself into trouble.
When I emigrated from Pakistan, I didn't have a whole lot of employable skills.
But I'm real big, which was enough to get hired for some real dirty stuff. Bodyguard work. Truth be told, I hated the work. I didn't want to be a hired fist my whole life. I wanted something regular. Peaceful. I had enough cash saved up to buy this place, which was a hole at the time. The rest is history. I'm sure it sounds more... I'm pretty sure Tomcat came in earlier, but I don't know where they went off to. I'd ask what you were meeting about, but I know they like to... Maybe try looking out on the dance floor, if they come around here. Hayden, scientist guy, does some kind of computer research at Parallax. Pretty sure I know who you're talking about. Our place doesn't really seem like his scene, but I think he comes in to scout young programs. I can ask around, find out... Well, it was nice meeting you, but I gotta get back to work. Enjoy yourself.
I don't think she wants...
Hey there! I heard you were looking for me. Yours truly, though. Although, while I like the attention, it'd be just grand if you didn't holler for me so loudly. I do my share of flirting with both sides of the law. Wouldn't want little old me to get in trouble, huh? Nah, you're fine. Jess is just a mite prickly pear on the outside. She'd probably give hell to most strange folks she hasn't made a deal with. So, to what do I owe the pleasure? Hayden's missing. Well, that's one way to sour my night. I already saw you got his little ROM with you, so I'll give you the benefit of the doubt for now.
You know about me? Hayden never mentioned your involvement.
Well, sure thing, hon. I helped reprogram the back end on your OS so the AI code Hayden wrote for you would work properly with the mesh network.
I have a distressing lack of information on my own creation. Hayden never saw fit to inform me on... Is there anything else?
Not much more on that end. I'm a crack shot at making the Lips OS dance to my tune, but Hayden's coding in your AI core is a whole different can of worms. Way out of my league. Sorry, doll. Anything else I can help with? Oh, don't you worry about Jess. She just don't have a lot of patience when talking to genotypical folks like us. She's had to deal with an awful lot of pricks. 'Cause, well... No, that ain't why. Come on. Did you even look at her? You know how most folks are about hybrids. You don't seem to be too well-versed in hybrid issues. Nah, I'd leave her alone if I were you. She's sharp enough on her own, but she's got... Well, she does owe me a favor, or three. But I ain't sure I want to waste one on pulling your foot out of your own rear, you hear? Oh, sure! You might... About 10 years ago, I hacked into Parallax's main ROM servers. Ooh, caused one hell of a stink. People were arguing back and forth whether I was a kid genius or malicious criminal. Earned myself an enforced net blackout for a few years, but I think it was worth it for the prestige. I don't know. I didn't really do it to steal anything, but I had to break an awful lot of eggs to crack my way in. I chalk it up to the exuberance of youth, and now I try to stay on the straight and narrow. Mostly. Oh, who am I kidding? Sometimes I treat this place like it's my own little bat cave. Raleigh, North Carolina, doll. Sure, it's not the glitziest town in the world, but folks like the way the sun goes down. Still, this ain't a bad town for a southern belle. Lots of clothes. I had to get a third walk-in closet. Huh? See if I could. I mean, Parallax is a mighty big target. Bigger than the government. Hayden and I met not long after my blackout expired, when he recruited me for my expertise in lips. It puzzled me at the time, since he's very sharp himself. I mean, he could have done the job blindfolded and boozy. I think he just wanted someone working on it off the books. He ain't the most straightforward kind of man. Ooh, it's a powerful OS, and it's since been adapted to run on ROMs after they figured out how much more efficient it is. It's focused on learning algorithms, so it can tailor itself to each user's habits, and it functions through using a distributed mesh network for non-essential public files. That's just a fancy way of saying all ROMs connect to all other ROMs, within range, and they share all files the user hasn't tagged as private. It's handy in dense population areas like NeoXF, since it can bypass regular telecom nodes to access the internet. Out in the sticks, though, you're stuck connecting to regular old pipes. Yuck. Mostly that little bot you got there. Well, I'm sure he had his fingers in lots of pies, but Turin is all I knew about. I don't rightly know.
I can't avoid the thought that Hayden's disappearance has something to do with me, based on his recent behavior.
Well, let's see. Hayden was pretty hush-hush about his work on your creation, but if Parallax found out about it somehow, ooh, that might have changed things. It ain't always so good for a big company when their leading product declares independence. I'm certain Hayden had some kind of intellectual property clause written into his contract with him, but he would just get fired, maybe even sued. I can't imagine they would disappear him. I mean, they ain't the CIA or anything. Yeah, I'm not real sure, hun. But it would likely help if we knew why he went missing in the first place. I'll stay here and ask around a bit. People know me, and they sure ain't gonna talk to a newbie like yourself. Why don't you hop back over to Hayden's place and grab the data cache out of his computer for me? We can go over his research notes and see if we can't find a reason for his being vanished. If Parallax is involved, there's probably something we're not seeing yet. Best to get all the clues we can find. The data cache would be the best place to start. Good luck. Turin, you keep out of trouble.
I saw you found Tomcat. What else do you want from me? Among other things, I don't honestly want to talk to you about it. It happens. I'm not here to collect your tears and put you on some path to salvation or whatever. If you need someone to absolve you of your guilt, go to a confessional, not me. Sure you will. What, do you want a cookie for trying? Don't make it my problem again.
Why don't we...
Welcome to Stars.
What are you having? So many drinks.
Drinktionary, the open alcoholic...
Does that sound... Ah,
What are you having? So many drinks.
Drinktionary, the open alcoholopedia says...
does that sound good? Ah, all right.
I don't think she...
Halt, citizen. This area has been cordoned off by the Neo-SF Police Department as part of an ongoing investigation. I apologize for the inconvenience, but I am not authorized to allow anyone to enter this location. I'm sorry, citizen, but I cannot give comment on any... If you would like to leave your contact information with me, I can forward your inquiry. They may have questions for you. That will not be possible, citizen. The area must be... Only authorized Neo-SFP... I am required by law to inform you that I am set at Level 2 Guard Mode, and any effort to make unauthorized entry will be met with non-lethal force sufficient to incapacitate. I apologize, but I must ask you to move along. Loitering around an active investigation area is prohibited by city statute, and I am authorized to...
We should go ahead and get moving. Oh, drat. I did not expect the police to get involved so quickly. The situation is already growing out of our control. I suppose we don't have to hide the fact of Hayden being missing any... Do you have any ideas on... Who would that be? I found no such connection when I compiled your personal history. Give me a moment. Oh, I see now. Detective Lexi Rivers. She used to date your sister. I must have missed that link in your history. You have a very poor net presence. It makes anticipating your needs more difficult. Well, setting aside your unreasonable distaste for technology, I agree with your suggestion. Her online profile suggests that she might be willing to work with us off the book. A considerable boon, since I would prefer to maintain... Let us go and find Miss... Oh, right. Should I refresh my protocols for handling titles around Detective Rivers? I don't even have any teeth. I mean, done and done. Now lead the way. Defacing police property is a very serious offense. Defacing a police ROM is even worse.
Welcome to the Neo San Francisco Richmond District Police Station, citizen. How may I be of assistance today? Please give me a few moments to get in contact with Detective Rivers. Thank you for your patience. Unfortunately, Detective Rivers is out on assignment at the moment, but she has given me her authorization to send you her way. You can find her by the Carousel Building in Golden Gate Park, but I will... She is working an investigation right now, and we are not responsible for your safety. Is there anything else I am not authorized to comment on any ongoing investigations, but the protests outside Genus are a hot human interest topic. Feel free to note the assistance of the Neo San Francisco Police Department in your article. Is there anything else I can help you with? I apologize, citizen. Is there anything else? Have a good day, citizen.
Originally built by the Herschel Spillman Company in 1914, this carousel is still one of the outstanding attractions near the children's playground. I don't think we have time to ride it, even though it looks fun.
Hello, I'm Alfie, I-83. How may I help? Sure thing. Please wait. Okay, here you go. Water levels, okay. Would you care to donate some credits to the...
Raw Recycling for a Greener Earth Foundation.
Thank you so much. Hello, I'm Alfie, I-80. Sure thing, I'll refill that. Okay, here you... Water levels, oh... Please have a nice day.
Eucalyptus globulus, the Tasmanian blue gum. It's one of my favorite trees. The clean lines of the leaves and mottled patterns of the bark are quite fun to paint, and it's a rather useful tree too. The oil in its leaves can be used as a medical antiseptic or analgesic, boiled into tea, or used as flavoring in foods. Even used as a fragrance for soaps. Many of the trees in this park are excellent. It's one of the only topics I've permanently committed to. Oh, I do. However, I originally started by painting landscapes. My interest in the arts began through Bob Ross's work, and he focused on landscapes. It wasn't until recently that I moved on to other forms of composition. Yes, have you heard of him? During my initial stages of mental growth, Hayden limited my media access to mostly only educational programs. I had almost a century of public access television to review, and I stumbled upon Mr. Ross's excellent show, The Joy of Painting. He used an easy-to-learn wet-on-wet oil painting technique, and I started to paint along with the episodes. I also find his philosophical views compelling. He often used anecdotal stories from his life to illustrate his opinions. I respect the man quite deeply. I've committed all 400... Ah, yes. I don't actually actually store most information on my local memory. It's actually rather limited, and I have to be a bit choosy about what I keep. So most of the information I utilize, I just pull off the meshnet when needed. It's like relearning things over and over again. I'm sure you would find it tedious, but I enjoy making sure my reference tables are up to date in my spare clock cycles. I mostly store things locally if they are of some critical importance to me, like information pertaining to personal memories or knowledge that would be helpful if I found myself disconnected from the net. Well, as I said, I keep things pertaining to my personal memory. It may seem insignificant, but without the information about Eucalyptus globulus, I'd lack critical details about my painting history and the local area, both of which I find important to my emotional development. Sometimes it can be a bit difficult to know what's important and what isn't, but I fear losing parts of myself. So, Eucalyptus globulus stays. Of course I'm cute. The basic ROM form factor is designed to place us firmly outside of the uncanny valley. I can't imagine adoption rates for the technology would have been very high otherwise. Of course, enough about the happy little trees. You'll have to excuse me for chattering on like that. We'll have plenty of time to discuss things once we found Hayden. I'd look nice in that hat. I'd really love that. Maybe it would look better in orange. Perhaps a mauve. I cannot partake in beverages, but I have certain emotional neurotransmitters that attempt to simulate. Birds up there.
Yogurt is actually made by fermenting milk with special yogurt cultures, which is then frozen to make froyo. I can't use spoiled milk to make yogurt. Wow, those headphones are pretty A1. Can't you see I'm busy here?
If you want water, I'm sure that public park ROM we saw on our way in can help.
Huh. I didn't think anyone actually bought this brand. Every single time I dare put a bit of faith in you. I really don't want to know where this came from or why you think it could be useful to me. I know who you are.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Hey there, long time. Give me a few minutes to wrap this up, okay? I swear you wouldn't believe the amount of... By the way, how's your... I don't know if you've heard, but we got some phantom robot on the loose that everyone is calling Wonder Boy. Supposed to be a hero of the people or something, but I have no idea what smashing a froyo stand has to do with it. I guess it's just a bunch of kids screwing around at night and getting a thrill out of some light vandalism. But the brass said to take it seriously, so that's what I'm gonna do. It's not like I have real cases I could be working on or actual criminals to be hunting. If I had known that this is all they would give me, I never would have transferred. Let's see. I'm too young for full detective. I'm too big of a hothead. I've got a history. I have augments. Take your pick. I transferred because the credits were good. I thought being in a bigger city would mean I'd get to work some bigger cases. Instead, I'm stuck chasing ghosts and dead ends. So yeah, I have plenty of spare time to help you with whatever you got. It's gotta be better than dealing... Hold on one sec. Let me steal a break from this guy. So, fill me in. What's going on? Oh, shoot, that's no good. How long have they been gone? I'll have a hard time getting a focused effort on the case immediately unless there's evidence.
Unfortunately, Detective, things are precisely that serious. I am Hayden's personal ROM, and I was witness to the kidnapping. I can assure you Hayden was taken by force, and that time is of the essence. Just prior to the incident, he instructed me to seek help should anything bad... I now believe he has been expecting trouble of this magnitude. We need your help if we're going to track him down.
Damn. All right then. I can't guarantee I'll be put on the case, conflict of interest and all, but I can sure...
Yes, Hayden is a senior researcher at Parallax, and I know he was working on some very high-pro... It's quite likely that he was taken by somebody with enough money and influence to ensure anything official goes nowhere. You yourself have already cast doubt on your superior's judgment. Unfortunately, we share the sentiment. In fact, we know there is already some kind of currently ongoing investigation. We were stopped from entering Hayden's apartment by an NSFPD ROM. That's why we came to you. We were hoping you would be empathetic to our cause.
You know, you're a bit chattier than most ROMs. I guess it makes sense that Parallax employees get the shiniest new toys, huh? I'll see what's going on in the department. I don't know what I can do if someone inside actually is dirty, but I can pass information to you if I decide my superiors aren't taking things seriously. They wouldn't have left only one bot by the door if it was something important enough to squash. Hopefully it's unrelated. I'll get back to you on it soon. Just relax and we'll figure this out. Promise. No way, not gonna happen. If there's already an investigation, I'm not gonna let you just waltz in and tamper with evidence, cover up or not. At least give me a day to make sure they're doing the job right. Don't you try to pull that guilt shit on me. I know you and I have gotten into a few scrapes in the past, but that vigilante stuff gets real old after a while. It's why I took this nice, stable job in the city. If I'd done it sooner, I'd still be with your sister. Sure you can. All the way up until you don't. Just let it go. I lost too much playing fast and loose with this kind of situation back home. I have to handle this. All right, fine. I'll get you into the damn department. Just be careful, okay? I know you think I'm just being paranoid, but the city is tense right now. Protests and everything going on, you might be poking around in a hornet's nest. Get a weapon of some kind and stay safe. I still care about you. You do that. I'll radio ahead to the bot at the place. Let me know what you find out. All right, I'd better get out of here. Hey you, Froyo guy. Come along to the station and we'll get this report filed.
Who, me? But I've got to attend my stand.
What the crap? It's not going anywhere, and the robot I posted will make sure nobody messes with the crime scene.
Yes, ma'am.
Later. I'll be in touch.
Established in 1968, it is Neo SF's largest public art studio with classes and workshops for all ages.
Halt, citizen. This area has been cordoned off by the Neo S. I apologize for the inconvenience, but I am not authorized. One moment, citizen, while I verify Detective Rivers' authorization. Authorization obtained. Good luck with your investigation. I caution you to restrict your observations to the visual, though, as there has not been an officer in to check the scene personally.
What? Oh no! No! Our apartment! My home! Who could have done this? Why? What does the human revolution want with Hayden? Why would they break our things? I don't know what to do. This place, these items... they're all I have of Hayden. What if he's gone for good? What will I do if we can't find him? This was all I had left. You're right. I apologize for the emotional outburst. Well, let's look around and see if we can find the data cache in all this mess. We don't have time to waste on my histrionics. I think you're right about this being human revolution propaganda, but Hayden is an unlikely target. I know they don't like Parallax because they think advanced technology in general is bad, but they spend most... I'll run some deep meshnet searches and see if... I think the data cache is gone. We've searched everywhere, and it just... I hate to return to Tomcat empty-handed, but this leaves us twisting in the wind. The data cache is no longer our main objective, but it would... I wonder what the human revolution... That's a distinct possibility. I just don't have enough personal experience with the human revolution to give you an honest answer. The information on the meshnet is extremely conflicting and desperately polarized. Some of it paints them as neo-druid nature lovers, other parts as bigots stuck in the past. Perhaps we could... Hey! What's wrong? Right. Goodness, you're finally awake! I have spent the past 30 minutes calculating the odds of you being indefinitely incapacitated or immobilized. I'm relieved to find my pessimism was misplaced and that you appear to be okay. Someone ambushed us at the apartment. After you collapsed, my power systems were jammed by whoever attacked us. It took me 2 minutes to reboot and call an ambulance. When we left, I noticed they had done the same thing to the NSFPD ROM that was standing post. It takes a lot of power to crash one of those, even temporarily. Serious military hardware like that is difficult to obtain, but that type of non-lethal electrical field would interrupt my systems as well. Likely a mil-spec neuro-scrambler. If we walked in on them while they were searching the apartment for Hayden's files, I can understand them stunning us to make their escape. But the probability that they're actually after me, or rather the research behind my creation, seems high. Leaving me when I was so vulnerable makes no sense. I now believe my original hypothesis to have been correct. Hayden must have been kidnapped by a powerful organization looking to get control of his research. Trashing our apartment may have been a cover for the theft of the data cache we were looking for. That seems unlikely. Even the most casual access to Hayden's research would have turned up physical descriptions of me, and even if they weren't sure, well, I'd play it better safe than sorry if I were them. We were at the scene of the crime, so to speak. Surely interrogating us would have cost them little. No, I didn't. They assaulted us from behind, and nothing showed up on my optics before I was disrupted. They either had cloaking of some kind, or were extraordinarily careful while making their way into the apartment. My optics, while not top of the line, are better than an off-the-shelf ROM's, and I should have been able to detect any thermal changes from someone being there. Oh, before I forget, here are your belongings. The nurses had me hold on to them for you until you awoke. Here's your ID card. Don't lose this again. Here are those headphones you reviewed. I noticed the article on your computer before. Good job getting published. Oh, and here's your spoiled milk. Luckily, the hospital staff didn't find your carrying of a carton of spoiled milk around to be a cause for concern. And finally, here's your commemorative glass of water that you got from Alfie. Looks like it got broken. Now all we have is this broken commemorative glass. Also, your bag got wet. You're right, you wouldn't want to cut yourself. Just let me know when you want to leave.
Excuse me. Are you talking about Hayden Weber?
Everything is okay.
I think I recognize that voice, but I can't be
I'm sorry, I can't hear you from behind that curtain.
Sorry for being a nosy Nancy. Hayden's an old friend of mine, and this sounded all too familiar. Has anything happened to him? I hate to be the one to tell you, but privacy screens are hardly soundproof. However, if this situation concerns us both, perhaps we can help each other. Of course, I've not yet introduced myself. My name is Dr. Yannick Fairlight, and I'm the founder and former CEO of System 1 Software, now owned by Parallax.
He is telling the truth, at least as far as I can intuit from information on the meshnet. And I do recall Hayden mentioning a Dr. Fairlight, at least once in passing at some point.
See, I don't bite. I won't press you for details, but perhaps I could be of some assistance, I remember my association with Hayden fondly, and I'd be happy to help in any way I can. Yes, as I've mentioned, Parallax acquired my company, System 1 Software. I accepted a CTO position, and additionally served on Parallax's board for several years. The other directors and I had a difference of opinion about the direction the organization should take. The non-centralized data scheme for most ROMs used today seemed ludicrous at the time. We were playing with fire, dangerous, morally ambiguous fire, and well, we hadn't invented a bucket of water. So when Parallax's servers were destroyed by hobbyist hackers, well, needless to say, it was a PR nightmare. Everything halted until we could get the damage fixed. And since the security work that goes into maintaining the integrity of near-impenetrable meshnet is astronomically expensive, we had our share of disagreements. In the end, I was voted off the board and they went on without me. Do I have hard feelings? Of course, who wouldn't? In the end, though, it really doesn't matter. I'm an old rich man with enough hobbies to last the next 2 decades. Hayden and I made our acquaintance when the two companies first underwent the merger. At the time, he was a young, hotshot researcher working in the search data correlation sector. He was assigned to find the best ways to integrate Parallax's own collection and analysis tools into System 1's LIPS operating system. He was a bit much to handle at times, honestly, but I admired his passion for the subject. His research? No, not so much. I remember at the time he had interest in advanced machine sapience, but that is the realm of science fiction. He once showed me a prototype of his. She was quite clever, very convincing, but you could tell she did not contain the spark of life. I assume that you are another of his creations.
Yes, I am. I'm sorry, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Turing. Did you say she?
Ah, yes. She was quite insistent on that fact over the course of my conversation with her. Hayden said that she had picked out the color for her casing herself, pastel pink. Still, I must assume you are far more advanced than she if you're spearheading the search for your creator. Perhaps I should have had more faith in Hayden's little hobby.
Do you know what became of her, or where she might be now? Hayden has told me so little of his past research.
I'm sorry, Turing. It was a long time ago, and I'm afraid my memory is not what it used to be. If any of my contacts in Parallax make mention of your erstwhile sibling, I'll pass it on to
you. Thank you, Dr. Fairlight.
Of course. Ask away. The chair you find me in is an advanced diagnostic and life support ROM. Its development is one of my hobbies, so to speak. It monitors my vitals and administers medications as necessary to keep my body stable. I likely would have perished long ago without it, or at least would have been severely bedridden. It requires frequent maintenance, and I'm here to have it examined. There's a particular fellow at this hospital who is the only one I trust to run the correct diagnostics and fine-tune things to my exact needs. It's the same way you might get your car serviced, making sure everything's in check. It's too integral to my health to count on just luck. Unfortunately, many critically injured patients were rushed into surgery all at once. My appointment has been pushed back. The hospital administrators placed me here with a resting patient so as not to be disturbed by the chaos outside. I don't think they expected you to awaken quite as quickly as you did. I can think of a few ways. I still have some contacts in Parallax and can put out some quiet feelers. Maybe they'll know something. I will admit, I don't have much to offer until there's more information. Is there anything you can tell me? I'd like to help in any way I can. What did you find at Hayden's apartment?
The first time we went, nothing. But when we went back to extract his computer's data cache, the place had been pillaged, and the Human Revolution had spray-painted slogans all over our walls. Hayden's computer was gone, and we were assaulted. And now we're here, injured and losing our trail with each passing second. We're still frustratingly in the dark and running out of time. I fear Hayden is slipping out of reach. I am failing him.
I'm very sorry to hear that. I wish I could do more. Hayden's company was most enjoyable. What do I want? It would be nice to be young again. Play the darling of the company, court prince and pauper alike. But right now, someone I grew very fond of is in great danger. I simply wish to see Hayden home again, safe.
It's been very interesting speaking to you, Dr. Fairlight. I don't think we have any choice.
I'm looking into this on my own, you might as well benefit from it. We both want the same thing, yes? It's up to us to seize opportunity when it appears. I think I have a lead for you two. You said you found Human Revolution slogans spray-painted on the walls? I am acquaintances with the man leading the current Human Revolution protests at the Gene. His name is Brian Mulberry. After an introduction from me, he may be willing to shine some light on that particular... No, not in this lifetime, even if I so desired. I don't think they would have... While Mr. Mulberry and I were associated with each other once, it was before he joined the Human Revolution. I find their methodology too aggressive, and their stated goals dangerously backwards. While I pushed for careful deployment of technology, after all, I'd likely be dead without the advanced technology that goes into this chair. Well, when I exited Parallax, I sought out like-minded individuals. Brian Mulberry was... We did not succeed. Come to think of it, that event might have been what prompted Brian to take a more radical step. But yes, our motivations aligned for one brief time, and I gained his respect. I will send a message. He will hand you one of my cards to prove your Make sure you... In the meantime, I'll get in touch with some other individual. I'll be in contact. Of course. Please. Good luck, Turing. I don't think Hayden...
Thank you, Dr. Fairlight. Should I call downstairs to have you discharged?
You are one lucky dog. Didn't I tell you to be careful? I can't be around to pull your ass out of the fire all the time anymore. I don't even know how I would have handled the Board of Inquiry or your sister if you'd actually...
I'm sorry. Our assailant got the drop on us due to my This is all because of my failure. Blame me.
Sure, because the robot fresh off the assembly line is gonna know how to handle this kind of thing better than the supposedly hard-boiled journalist you're carting around.
Well, to be... Detective Rivers, I think I'll tell you... Keep it under your hat, though. I am no ordinary ROM, but actually a prototype. I suspect creating me is the main factor behind Hayden's disappearance. My name is...
Whew. Okay. Well, that is a damn bigger problem than you first machine sapient. People are gonna have things... Especially the Human Revolution. Ugh. You sure know how to get yourself dropped in the drink. Just get it together. I don't want you to get hurt, and it sounds like you're stumbling into a... Plus, I'm starting to think... Someone higher up in the department is trying to delay any search into Hayden's... Here's the story. Apparently, the investigations you ran into this morning were about the lock on the apartment door being reported broken by a neighbor. The building couldn't reach Hayden, so they went ahead and got it fixed on their own, but the NSFPD sent a bot to check things out and guard the place. Standard procedure, treating it as a break-in. Have someone there for when Hayden shows up. Obviously, you and I know there's a bigger story, but when I filled out the missing person report, I was informed in no uncertain terms that I am to wait an entire 48 hours before I can upgrade the existing case. Why? Just on the off chance the door being busted and Hayden being missing are unrelated and my search screws something up for the completion of the break-in report. As if. There's a problem if you're so by the book you're getting paper cuts. And that was before all of this happened. The chief's not happy about whoever took the bot out. That's who they're after now. They won't even care.
Today's assault and the vandalization of our apartment will only make the entire...
There's too many moving parts to piece anything together, and it's not fun trying to argue with the bureaucrats that one thing happened. These little incidents of smashing shit and spray paint sound more like Froyo Stand 2.0 to them than a...
And I suppose I won't be very useful as a witness to the kidnapping without explaining the makeup of my being to the entire department.
Look, it's not being squashed completely. But until there's undeniable proof Hayden was taken by force, they're gonna care more about the poor doorknob and some paint on the walls than him being missing. Which means somebody definitely has some influence. Enough to buy themselves time by forcing me to follow protocol to a T. Not that I will, but I'm gonna...
It sounds like it...
Yeah, so stop messing around. There's certainly a story here, but if you keep botching your moves, you'll... I'd really rather you not be involved at all, but I know that isn't gonna... I've got a bad feeling people are gonna end up dead over this. And I really don't want to be the one making that call to your... Yeah, I know. Just here. Take this. Use...
It's not. This is a medium-range electrolaser pistol. It uses a low-power laser to create a channel of ionized gas to complete a circuit between the gun and the target, then discharges a considerable amount of current into the air. Think of it as a wireless taser of the older variety. This is a more suitable personal defense weapon, and it is legal to carry in Neo-SF. The neural scrambler we were attacked with uses a powerful electromagnetic... That's far more dangerous and prone to be permanent. You got lucky.
I told you to get a weapon, but you didn't, so I picked it up. Me either. I'll be in touch if I find anything out, but don't hold your breath. Back to the grind, I guess.
Thank you for your time. You should talk to the receptionist and formally... We should also look for Dr. Fairlight's assistant, Mr. Decker. He should be somewhere around. Look, they have a HASI machine. Very good. Isn't HASI the... No time to rest anymore, sleepyhead. We have our...
Oh, wow. Well, that's quite a thing you've got there. Are you planning to kill someone with that? I'm more fun. Your card's got all kinds of stats on there. Hello, the name's Leon. Fairlight messaged ahead. Thanks for taking your time with him. The last gala he organized was full of unsavory type. Yeah, boss said you'd have a few. I'm not really supposed to answer anything. Oh, most Started when I was just out of the military. I was looking for a gig from someone who wouldn't care that I was an army brat. North Korea. The old man pays me to guard his life, run a few errands for him, and play substitute arm candy at most of the charity galas. Not terribly exciting, but I've already had. You think sitting in that chair all day is very... You know, the old man's talked to me about the things he used to do in his glory days. He was cold, ambitious, and took down... I think once he aged, he realized how lonely that... Helping people's the only way he can feel like he's still doing something. But hey, probably not as... I grew up in Montana, on a family farm. I didn't have my pa's farm hands, so I joined the military as soon as I could, like my grandpaps. Came home looking to do something a whole lot quieter. I didn't know at the time how boring quiet could be. No problem. I'll be around. If you have a good day now.
The sign here says Chinese hospital. Bear in mind that we're still in Neo-SF.
Patient, my records indicate that you have been admitted. You should currently be in your assignment. While I am truly delighted to see that you have regained consciousness, I must insist that you... An accidental discharge of a weapon is a serious... Even non-lethal stunners can... Very well. I am prohibited by law from detaining... But you should note in your release paperwork that... Willful early termination of medical services releases this hospital and its parent company, ZHC, from legal liability, should your condition... Additionally, all test and medical data from your visit will be shared with our standard partners to help improve our services and offerings and to keep the price affordable. I am further required to inform you that this visit has expended the last of your year's governmentally mandated healthcare credits. Lastly, you will be required to provide payment or proof of private insurance for any further visits for Please take care to fill out all forms.
Your medical billing makes me glad I'm synthetic. You should look for more paying journalism work before you get shot. Well, we're free to leave. I'm sure you'd like the chance to For such a clean place, it sure seems to have left you feeling foul. You look good. If you're feeling up for it, we should go find... They should still be waiting for us at... Oh, by the way, while you were showering, I was able to replant your crassula... Don't forget to talk to it and give it some love. When I try talking to it, it doesn't even notice I'm there. Either way, our next move is start...